you gonna make it for
Rise
MMA?
and shine, it's a brand new day. Ken can take the stage, ready to play. Weekdays at 10, the cars in the scene. Coffee in hand, they're living the dream. Aggression in the voice, got the whole town awake. Bringing fire to the mic, make no mistake. Shows in the corner, spitting out facts. Dropping truth bombs, ain't holding back. Ken in the morning, feel the heat. From 10 a.m. CST, can take a seat. We live and love that break in the mind. Ken and the bold. Light up your speakers, crank up the sound. They're talking about life upside down. Opinions exploding like a sonic blast. In the studio, they're built to last. With passion and grit, they engage and ignite. Every single week, they're a force can't fight. From sports to politics,
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
Good morning. Welcome to an edition of Ken and Ken in the Morning. Good morning, Joe. How are you?
What's up, guys?
And Ken, how are we doing today?
All right.
Well, there's news this morning. The first bit of news I've seen for the quote-unquote trade deadline starting. The Bears, free agent acquisition, no trades, but the Bears signed C.J. Gardner-Johnson to the active roster. Of course, he played in all 16 of the regular season games for the Eagles last year on the way to the Super Bowl. Then he was traded, didn't work out where he got traded. Now he's been signed to the Bears and having a reunion with his old defensive coordinator, of course, and current Bears coordinator, Dennis Allen. So, yeah, the first move has happened for Chicago. It's a safety, not a corner, but probably a step in the direction most Bears fans want to see something. Well, I haven't seen a corner out there, but we got a pretty good safety. Good morning, Fred. Also, Booker's been activated off the IR for the Bears, so that's another edge rusher to the mix. Good morning, Paul. So that happened. That at least moves are starting to happen. Now the Bears are being tied to Quentin Williams and a couple other. Now we're going to start to see all these. The Bears and the Packers or whoever your team is tied to whoever, because Heavy.com said so.
Yeah,
The Bears are tied. The Bears are tied to Quentin Williams.
Supposedly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and supposedly Green Bay is too. It's that nonsense time of year.
Well, Green Bay can't be because they don't have the 2 first-round picks to give up. It's going to take to get them. We're
going to say they're. I forgot exactly who the hell supposedly reported it, but they were supposedly in talks about it. But who knows if that just means, what do you want? Okay.
Yeah. No, the reason I say that is because I just saw ESPN just had an article this morning, and they were saying that, the Jets are a bit of a mystery because they should be selling, but they don't seem to be selling, but they are selling because there's players that and Quentin Williams was one of those players where they said the Jets aren't looking to shop him. So, but they're not saying he's untouchable either. It's going to take, it's going to take what's the word I'm looking for? An offer they can't refuse, basically,
Yeah.
But not in the horse head in your bed kind of way, like in the. Yeah, I saw Ken getting excited over there. He's
and then you took my excitement right away.
Yeah, that does sound like a Ken kind of deal.
He's like, what about 2 horse heads?
Yeah, see, there you go. Where one won't get it done, a second one usually does.
Paul, Cam Jordan's an interesting name that I think will be bounced around by a couple teams. Dude's 36 years old, but he doesn't play like he's 36 years old. He's a good rental for sure. But then the question I get, okay, right now the way he's playing this year, he's a good rental. But are you then going to try to sign him to another 1 to 2 year contract after this year?
A 1 year, maybe.
I think he would take a 1 year wherever he goes to.
Yeah.
Because that actually makes some sense for him, because he'll be what, 37 next year? Hell, he may just retire.
1 year with a good chunk of guarantees.
Oh God, Steve, I've heard that too. That JJ, not McCarthy, the other JJ, he's unhappy now in Minnesota and wants out of Minnesota. And I'm sorry, I do not believe anything about Justin Jefferson wanting out of Minnesota.
Maybe not wanting out of Minnesota, but he could be unhappy. I mean, I'm sure most Vikings players right now are unhappy. Like, you're losing, like your quarterback situation. You had Sam Darnold last year and you won 14 games. And then all of a sudden this year, it's like, you go get rid of Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones, and both those guys are winning now. And so, yeah, I mean, there could be a little sour grapes there, but
yeah.
Why would he want out of Minnesota, though? Like, I mean, they're paying him ridiculous money. He's,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think he wants out of Minnesota. Look, it's clickbait time of year. I got it.
They're a quarterback away, dude.
Now they just got to see if the quarterback they got on the roster can actually stay healthy.
No, that's why I said they're a quarterback away. I think they need to be looking in the draft. Dude, I'm being serious. I think they at least have to look at what's coming out, what's available.
I agree with Joe. Just because of the health concerns right now on McCarthy. I mean, here you are in year 2. We're coming to week 9, and his entire career is a span of what, 3 games?
Yeah, 2.5 games. You played 2.5 games in what, 25 games?
A season and a half. In a season and a half.
It's not good.
2.5 games. I mean, it's not good. So he is a bust right now. He can't stay healthy long enough. So I would say, yeah, if you're in Minnesota right now, you're thinking, okay, we're gonna have to start looking at quarterbacks in the draft, and you're gonna monitor the situation, because if JJ stays healthy the rest of the year, and plays well, maybe you don't. But right now, that's got to be in the back of their heads going, we may need a quarterback again. I mean, that's a fair assessment considering he can't be – I mean, because he's on the field. He can't stay on the field to play. At least if he's on the field,
I will say this.
Even if he was jacking it up on the field, at least they'd have something they can say, well, we can build on this or that, or we can fix this. They can't even get him on the field. Go ahead, Joe.
I think KOC has shown that to be a pretty good quarterback coach. So I don't necessarily think they have to take one in the first round. No. But I think you could get away with a little bit later of a pick just because your head coach has had success in turning quarterbacks around. So the reason I say that is because what about that dude from Vanderbilt, for example, right? He's projected to be like a 5th or 6th round pick, but he looks like he's got talent, man, and he looks like his talent he's a little bit undersized, but he's a lot undersized, but I mean, shit, Doug Flutie had a good career in the NFL, so that's why I'm saying, you don't have to maybe go out and draft another 1st round quarterback to still put the pressure on JJ McCarthy. You can go out and get a later round guy, but still he's going to feel it. I'm sure he's going to be like, hey, why are they drafting this young kid a year after, 2 years after they drafted me? Are they giving up already? I don't know. Because you don't want to be paying 2 first-round quarterbacks. Although I actually, now that I think about it, that's only $20 million a year. That's really cheap for NFL quarterback money, dude.
If you got another 1st rounder, yeah, you're probably talking a little under 20. Then your 5th-year option, you're not going to give it to them, obviously, because one of them is going to be kicked to the curb. It could breed competition. It could make one of them shine over the other. But man, having to spend another 1st-round pick, trust me, been there. Every 3 years spending a 1st-round pick on a quarterback gets old. And here's the problem: no matter where you draft the kid in the first round, whether it be first or 27th, the expectation is start. Hi, Jackson Dart. I mean, there's no more chill with fans. Like, you draft a quarterback in the first round anywhere, and they're like, oh, this guy needs to start right away. Forget about mentoring him and grooming him and growing him. Throw him in there right now. It's like, okay. And then we wonder why we're in the situation we are every couple of years with the same teams looking for that quarterback. And sometimes you get a CJ Stroud where he has a great rookie year and he's played decently the last year and a season and a half. Obviously not to the same level, but it looks like he's going to work out for him. It took the Bears, this is our third guy now. We went Trubisky, then we went to Fields. Now we're on Caleb. Caleb looks like, okay, this guy's going to make it past year 3 with Chicago, and he might be a guy we're going to hold on to for a while. It's the same. But then you go to Green Bay, who drafted Jordan Love at the end of the first round when they had Aaron Rodgers. They sat the kid on the bench for 3 years, basically, and it worked. And why other teams aren't doing that is still beyond me. Now, I get it. If the kid's a top 10 pick, I can get a little bit more of the impetus to start them right away. But you draft the kid at 11 or 28. Let him sit on the bench a little bit and learn.
Yeah, you'd think after watching Green Bay do it with Rodgers and then Love, and then seeing Kansas City do it to an effect with Mahomes, granted that was only a year, but still, you'd think that would give people more incentive to, hey, let's try it.
Day one draft, man, I'm sorry, just because you get drafted day one doesn't mean you should be a starter right away. And I think that should be true at any position, but especially quarterback. You want these guys to be impact. Okay, cool. Here's the problem. Some of these guys you draft in the first round, yeah, they can come in and be starters right away. And there's a fair amount that can. And there's a fair amount that can't. The bust rate on first rounders is about 50-50, right? I would attribute some of that bust rate to just throwing them into the fire too fast.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't argue that even with the positions. Because, yeah, you'll see some guys go right away and steal it. But you see that from, like, fourth-round picks and shit, too. Does that mean we should shove every fourth-round pick right out there?
That's what we're getting to, Ken. Some of these guys want to. Like, oh, Kyle Manon guy is doing good as a seventh rounder. Therefore, everyone should be a starter that gets drafted. Okay. Great. That's going to work out.
Also, like, you have to consider, first round picks, like, especially the top 15 picks, a lot of those guys, there's a lot of speculation about them. Like, going into the draft, it's like they're the super athletic guys that they may not have, like, necessarily the mind for the game, but the team just sees this crazy athleticism, and so they're like, this guy can be it. So there's a lot more swing and a miss on that in the top 15 picks than you would think. Like, and they throw those guys out there right away, and that's my point, is that maybe they don't necessarily have the mind for the game. They just have the crazy athleticism, and they have the measurables that the NFL team is looking for. And, some of these teams, it's a crapshoot, man, just like with quarterbacks. Like,
well, and the Wonderlic is supposed to be the end all, right? Oh, he had a high Wonderlic score. Like, when was the last time that test was updated? I guess would be one of my questions. When was the last time was that test updated? And then, just because they test well on a test doesn't mean they can do stuff in practical real-world application. All right, Hutchinson's got a 4-year extension. Two people have now put that in there. With JB saying Ian Rappaport, but no details. So I'm sure we'll have that by JB's show. So JB will be able to let everyone know all the numbers on the Hutchinson 4-year extension.
Oh, I'm sure that's big money.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Well, you got to assume with him being a pass rusher and being one of the top pass rushers. We've seen how that money gets crazy.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Did he get like TJ Watt, Miles Garrett money, or did he get like Max Crosby, Nick Bosa money? You know, like, because Nick Bosa is making pretty good money. I think it's like 30, 35. Max Crosby is making somewhere around 30. And, Miles Garrett, he's making more than that. TJ Watt's making like 40. He didn't get Micah Parsons money, did he?
he might
you
have.
have got to be kidding me. You're going to love this one, Ken. The Denver Broncos are signing 41-year-old tight end Mercedes Lewis to the practice squad.
Oh, man. I mean, hey, it's nice and all for him that he gets to stick around somewhere. But would somebody just sign this guy as a coach and let him stay off the field?
No, dude, like, it makes perfect sense if you're the Broncos. Think about it. The Broncos, they're looking at a playoff run, right? Like, why not sign the guy who he may not be a great pass catcher anymore, but he's exactly, that's what I was just gonna say. Straight blocking tight end, like, injuries happen. Like, you don't want to get it derailed. Like you're what, 6-2 or 5-3, like.
Right. No, it makes sense.
It makes sense, dude. Sign him to the practice squad. And
speaking of the Vikings, they have announced they signed quarterback John Wolford, formerly of Carolina, to their practice squad.
Never even heard of that dude.
Yeah, exactly. Lamar Jackson will play tomorrow night.
That's going to be interesting because they just got a big win. Like, is that team fired up now? Do they all of a sudden like pull their bacon out of the fire?
So, and there was this trade 15 hours or a little more than 15 hours ago. So the Patriots extended Marcus Jones to a 3-year, $36 million deal, then traded Keon White to the Niners and traded Kyle Duggars to the Steelers. That happened yesterday. So Pat's making some moves in the Steelers as well. Steelers have 2 former Patriots in their secondary now because they got Jabril Peppers earlier in the season. Interesting.
Oh, so he got a playoff? He got a playoff win? Yeah, I never heard of that dude.
Who, Mercedes Lewis?
No, John Wolford. JB said he's the guy the Rams pulled to win a game during the playoff push with.
Okay. Wait, Gardner Johnson is not a Bear? Oh wait.
He
is a Bear. Yeah, he typoed. Okay. I was scrolling back up there. I was like, what? Hold on, JB. They just signed him. It's like, wait a minute. We didn't cut him already, did we? I mean, weird things have happened, but come on.
He signed the contract, and they're like, good, now clear out your locker.
Yeah, I mean, it's like
he didn't even see the practice field yet.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you take the donut in front of the coach. Last donut, mine. Oh, yeah, you can go home now.
He got the red tag in his locker.
So, I mean, for the Bears, I think it's a good signing. The safeties have been playing good. I think they're going to try to use him as a corner, though. Obviously, because that's where we need the help. Yeah, he's having
playing him at safety for a reason.
He's having morning coffee. Okay, he's having his morning coffee. Let him get his caffeine flow. Yeah, I mean, obviously the safety room has been good, but they signed him for a reason. Hey, we know he's a quality player. But I think they're going to try to use him. If they do use him as safety, maybe someone else is moving the corner. That could be it, though, too. So they're going to do something with the safeties because right now we got 5 on the roster. One of them is going to be playing cornerback. One's going to be quarterback. Especially, I haven't checked the injury report, but I would assume from what I saw about Tyreek Stevenson's injury, he might be back this week. So.
Or do you think maybe it's just a depth move where they're like, we can't afford any more injuries in our secondary. And in case we do get another injury in our secondary, let's go get this guy who's got lots of experience that,
Oh, Joe, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this with love. Fuck you. Don't say that. Now you're saying that the Bears have someone else hurt. That's why I said
no,
that.
that's not what I said. I said, do you think that they're thinking that is what I said?
I know.
It's not like I'm sitting here like, not like I'm sitting here
Like
breaking
Joe
chicken
brings up
bones
the
and
dark,
riding the
gloomy
broom on you
shit,
guys or
right?
something
Like, hey, hey, the Bears are trying to adjust maybe some injury issues with the quarterback, and here's Joe. Oh no, you got a safety hurt. That's why they're signing him, because they think something's weird. Like, geez, Joe, fuck you. Why are you doing this to me this morning, man?
I
God.
was saying, like, it's smart business, just like the Broncos, like taking that insurance policy out with Mercedes Lewis. Like, I think that's a smart insurance policy. It's not costing you much, and when the playoffs come around, you need a blocking tight end. If you know,
Well, we'll see. Well, yeah, I mean, like last week,
it's all reward and no real risk.
Tyreek Stevenson's a shoulder injury, so we'll see if he comes back this week. But I'm hoping it's not that we're tracking now we're having an injury with a safety that we need to address. I'm hoping they're trying to.
I wasn't saying that, Ken.
Yeah.
I wasn't saying like you have an injury. I was saying
I
like,
know, but the brain went there when you said that. I was like, oh no, Joe, don't say this. But you know what? Ken can attest to this. The cornerback market's pretty shitty right now. There aren't any cornerbacks out there. Otherwise, we would have signed one. So if you're looking for cornerback help, this is the next best thing.
Now, if you want it, I would have to say I'd like to see how the Bears respond to another injury in their secondary. Ken will tell you all about that.
Oh yeah. Joe's got the fucking voodoo with that shit.
Yeah, no shit. And JB, I'm assuming you're going to be breaking the Hutch money details during your show. That's what I would assume. I mean, you're probably not going to get. You might not even get the money details after your show today. We might have to talk about it on Roundtable tonight, because you know how these, sometimes the money gets leaked out pretty quick, but we usually takes a good day or two. Sometimes we might get an idea of a total dollar amount, but not the deal until for a day or two. Yeah, it could be tonight. So, but that's good for the Lions that they got Hutch locked up for 4 years. That means he's not going to be traded anywhere at the deadline.
I'm pretty sure Lions fans were absolutely terrified that was going to happen.
Look,
the money number. Hey, Ken, the money just came out. Do you want me to break it, or do you want to not steal JB's thunder?
Go ahead, because JB's breaking it too in the comments. So go ahead.
It's 4 years, 180 million. That includes 141 million guaranteed.
Woo! What's that break? What? It's 180 what?
100.
If it's 100, yeah, it's about 45 a year.
Wow. Woo! That's generational.
That's almost Micah Parsons' money.
Yep, that's a couple million shy of Micah Parsons' money. Good morning, Yoli.
Boy, that's a huge shot at. They're saying we believe in you, Aiden.
These dudes are making to play football now. I mean, think about it. $45 million a year to play a sport that you play as a kid to have fun, right? I mean, and Hutchinson's a pretty smart guy. I guarantee you his family does not have to work for generations to come.
I was going to say, just remember in the early 90s, that was quarterback money over the length of a contract.
Right.
Not a year, over the whole length of the sumbitch.
Hutchinson gets $45 million a year. That makes Montez Sweat at $25 million look like a steal. I mean, think about Montez Sweat when he signed the extension with the Bears on that trade and sign deal. That was really good money for the position, and now it's like $25 million a year. That's nothing.
This is yet another reason why I'm so grateful to have Max Crosby on our team, because he's a top 5 guy, but he doesn't make top 5 money. He's not bankrupting the Raiders. He's like
Michael Jordan when he was with the Bulls. I mean, Jordan never made his money playing basketball. All his money
Yeah,
was made
endorsements and
Yeah.
shoes.
And we've got Wood this morning.
Yeah.
Morning, Woody. Aiden
Go on.
Hutchinson's just signed his 4-year extension, getting $45 million a year.
Oh, hopefully he doesn't get injured again, or that's going to be all well worth it.
That's what I love about Woody in the morning. Hey, and you know what though? I did say this, Woody. It makes Montez Sweat's $25 million a year look like nothing.
Yeah. There you go. Huh. Wow. Well,
Yeah.
I hope it all works out for him. That's all I have to say for that.
Oh, and the Bears signed safety C.J. Gardner yesterday as well, and
Okay.
activated Booker.
Yeah, I put on that in the back of our chat.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
So I'm excited for that, but hopefully he can
45 million. That makes Crosby's 30 million look like bubblegum change,
Telling you.
dude. But where like let's talk about something else. Like where does this leave us as far as like the next generation of pass rushers? Like that market is so inflated right now. Like the next guy that signs is going to be making quarterback money, dude. I mean, they're pretty much making quarterback money.
Well, here's the thing. It's like it's across the board, Joe. We saw it with wide receivers.
Yeah.
We see it with ends. We see it with if you look at Detroit right now, my bigger question is how long are they going to be able to keep Detroit at the level it's at with this kind of money going out the door? Because, okay, St. Brown you've got signed. Goff is going to be due a contract again really soon.
Yeah, they got to work on a restructure with him because his cap hit for next year is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, let me bring it up real quick.
Well, they better they better win now.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's part of it. I mean, like if you want to go long term, you gotta, be dynastic or something. Or, right now, I mean, next year, okay, this year they have 25 million. This is a good thing about the Lions. They've always been good with cap space. Next year, 38 on the roster. Cap space right now is 2.5 mil. But Goff's cap number next year,
68 million. It's like 68 million.
close, 69.6. Let me see what they can do in a restructure according to Over the Cap. They can restructure 40.
Mitch, you're nuts, dude.
They do an extension, they can save almost 43 million.
Did you see what Mitch said? He said when he's talking about Hutch's contract, he said, nice hometown discount. Cheaper than Parsons, cheaper than Miles, cheaper by like $2 million. That's a hometown discount.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd call that a hometown discount, man.
Ooh. Boy.
So Goff's contract, though, Mitch goes Goff good for what, 3 or 4 years? No.
Ooh,
Goff. So here's Goff's contract. It's
Why,
weird.
thank you.
Well, it is and it isn't. So he's okay. So 26. He doesn't have. There are no void year. The void year is 29.
Bless you,
So
Kenny.
at 26, his cap hit. We'll just call it 70, and then in 27, it's 55, and then it's 62 and 28. So it's 3 more years, but the cap numbers are massive. Look at his cap number this year is 32, so they're doubling his cap number next year. So Goff, they might want to do a restructure. And push some money around. But next year you got 38 on the 53. Now, granted, you're gonna get about 20 million, right? Is about what we call the default number you're gonna add to the cap. So we'll say they have about 23 million, and they need to sign 15 players, and that 22 million, about 9 of that's gonna be taken up by your draft picks. So okay, that's gonna get you part of where they're gonna be okay. But you're going to be looking at other contracts that need to come up soon. Jahmyr Gibbs, when's he due? Jahmyr Gibbs next year is the 4th year.
After next year.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Next year's the last year of his contract. 26, the last year of his rookie deal.
I'll definitely give him a 5th-year option.
and they're going to pick up the 5th-year option. That's going to be expensive for his 5th-year option. Montgomery, his contract ends. He goes through his first void years in 28, so you're okay there probably. Penei Sewell, he just signed, didn't he, not long ago? Penei Sewell, you're good with him through 29. So some of their pieces are they got some longevity on a couple of their pieces. So it's going to be interesting for them. Anytime you see this kind of big money go out the door, it gets interesting, right? Because now it's like, okay, what other position group am I not giving money to? At least I'll say this for the Lions. It looks like some of their core is pretty much locked up for the next 3 or 4 years. But they're going to want to do something with Goff's contract.
Yeah. Well, how much projected cap space are they supposed to have next year?
$2 million. They've got $2 million with 38 signed, but you figure with the NFL, it's going to up it by 20 mil. So we'll call it 22 mil. And they need to sign, about 15 players to the roster. So you figure 7 picks, so that's half of it, and that's also half their money. That's 9 mil for the 7 draft picks approximately. So they're going to have a little bit of money to sign some $1 million players here and there. They're not going to, but if they restructure a Goff contract, they can spend some money. So they've got some options. So Brad Holmes set them up pretty well. It's not, but anytime you see 45 mil a year go out the door, you're like, holy crap. You're like, okay, now what are we not doing? So he's set up okay. They actually probably got more wiggle room than anyone else in the North right now because of the way Brad Holmes sets up contracts. At some point, they're going to run to the brick wall unless they keep making the right moves to get rid of, trade people out at the right time, that kind of stuff. They're looking okay, man. I have to give the Lions some credit, man. Their cap situation is really not that bad. It's better than the Bears, I think. Better than the Packers, better than the Vikings.
Well, with that contract, Aiden better not get put on that Madden cover.
Man, with all the commercials he's doing, he might be.
Jesus.
I think he did most of those commercials when he was injured, though.
I know the Sheagles are taking it easy on Barkley with his 9 carries a game.
Yeah. Oh my God! Speaking of that, I saw a beautiful meme. I think it was last week. Ever since Saquon got on the cover of Madden, he turned into late stage Packer career Eddie Lacy, where he was Cheeseburger Eddie.
Cheeseburger Eddie.
Wow.
So yes, there's some interesting moves there. Yeah, they're yeah. Well, I don't. Goff restructure is going to be interesting. I don't know if they're going to restructure or extend, but they're going to have to do something. But you got to remember, when you do a restructure, that money's still going somewhere. Some of it comes up. Here's where this is where I think Mike the Bear fan gets pissed, and I agree with him. Because what they'll do is they'll do a restructure, and they save 42 mil or 40 mil. Not all 40 mil goes back against the cap at any point in time. It like disappears from the cap, right? Because they call it this money, that money. So whereas this money used to count against the cap, now all of a sudden it doesn't, even though the player still gets it. And that's where I agree with Mike. It's like a dollar spent should be $1 against the cap. But that is not the reality of the way it works in the NFL.
Well,
what if they do when they reconstructure, they use it as a signing bonus?
Yes, it's usually converted into some kind of signing bonus or some other thing. And a lot of times, a lot of that money does not count. Like when they did the JJ's for us, the $8 million, none of it counted against future cap. Brian Poles literally took $8 million off of a cap hit and wiped it out. But JJ still got his $8 million. But the Bears didn't have to pay for it in terms of the cap. I mean, they still had to cut a check, but it didn't count against their cap. So I get that. Like, that's kind of a bullshit move if you think about it, because then why do we even have a cap?
Because it sounds good. It's we make everything fair for all the teams, no matter the size of the market, no matter their revenue income. See, we share all this shit. and there's no competitive advantages, even though you got Jerry handing over briefcases under desks.
Yeah,
Hey,
but
and
see, without a cap, it would be worse because certain owners in the end are filthy rich, like the Waltons, for example. Jerry's stupid rich. Stan Kroenke of the Rams is stupid rich.
Right.
So if you went the baseball route where there is no, or the basketball route, like you get like a luxury tax, but there's no salary cap per se, right? Like
It'd be
that's
ridiculous.
it'd be ridiculous because now you're going to get the Yankees in football, like where Jerry's going to go out and he's good. There's no cap. He's just going to sign every high-priced free agent there is, and you're going to have super teams. Like
Well, let me
I
go
think
back
that,
to
and I think the
Mitch's
cap is a
contract.
good thing.
Let me go back to Mitch's comment here about Goff. I mean, here's the thing too with Goff's contract, they do not even necessarily have to restructure it. They can, and they don't have to restructure for the full 40 mil either. Because like with JJ for the Bears, they could have restructured it for 10 and only did 8. I think what they'll do is they restructure just what they can wipe off the board if they have to. Because I think that, look, there are some other rules that I know none of us here understand that they play by on this. And they still have to be careful on how they do some of these things. But that's where the money, if they need money, that's where it's coming from, Mitch. I 100% agree with you. And they're going to have to restructure because of the cap hit. In theory, right now they don't have to. They got enough money. If they get 20 million cap, if everyone in the league gets 20 million, they got enough money to sign draft picks, sign a couple free agents, low price free agents, $1 million, $2 million tops, where they might not have to touch him at all. To be honest with you, and that might not be a bad thing because now you've got a reserve, right? Now you've got, oh shit, someone got hurt. I need $5 million to go sign someone. Hey, Goff, yeah, I'm going to restructure you for $8 million right now. Okay, cool, done. So it puts them. They're actually in a good place. Whether it's going to be an extension or just a restructure, because like I said, his contract was out a couple years. I don't know if they would extend it next year. I think you might restructure next year and then extend the year after. He's got, what I'd say, 3 years left on the contract for Goff. Let me bring it back up. Let me go find it again real quick because I was looking at the Bears for a second. Goff's contract goes through 28, so they've got 3 more seasons on it. I think they might restructure for 26, and maybe they extend him in 27. Because they want to keep as much flexibility as they can, right? It'll be interesting to see what they do. But they set that contract up right. They did it right. Yeah, there's always a way to work around the cap. I mean, look at Quezzy. Quezzy works miracles on that cap in Minnesota.
Look at the Saints.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know if I'd call that a miracle.
Well, no,
I think that's just a happy accident.
No, but he's right because
the Saints have been doing it for years, dude.
Yeah, the Saints were like 20 million over coming into the season. Now they're way under. Now next year they're way over. Guess what? They'll find another way through all these little things, and they'll come back under and have money. They will. They find ways, man. They're pretty good. Now the problem with the way the Saints are doing it is it makes some of their guys untradeable.
Yeah.
Like Kamara is almost untradeable with an $18 million cap hit next year.
Yep. Just imagine if the Saints actually put all that skill that they have in their working their cap to keep these aging vets. If they actually put that into a rebuild, you know what I mean?
No,
if they focus that energy.
Come on, the Saints window is still open. At least they believe so.
Yeah, but JB, they've been kicking the can down the road for 5 years, and they're going to be able to successfully do it again. And I think the way they're doing it, they might actually not get a true cap hell year. Because look, their record sucks. Okay, fine, but are they a competitive football team? And the answer to that question is, yeah, they are. They're just not winning games. They're losing these one-score games. I mean, they're in games. They're actually a pretty decent team. They're one of those teams that you'll sleep on and they will beat you. And they beat you. Go, oh my God, but they were 1-5. How they beat us? Because they're still a good freaking football team. They're just not winning games. So like they're not doing a terrible job of it. It's not like it's been a complete collapse of everything in NOLA. The team is still competitive. They're just not winning games.
And see, what JB said, I think actually kind of proves my point. Like, they've been kicking the can down the road since Breeze retired. Breeze is he's eligible for the Hall of Fame, so it's been at least 5 years, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's an impressive feat to not have the bill come due for 5 years. Like, and so would I say they're managing their cap well? For what they're trying to do, yeah. Like, they're trying to keep that team together, but I don't think that should be their focus. And I think most of us agree that shouldn't be their focus, right? They should be trying to get rid of those aging vet contracts and start rebuilding. But for what they're like, you have to keep in mind that what their focus is. Their focus is on keeping that team together, and they've done a phenomenal job of it. For the last 5 years, they've been able to hang on to those really pricey aging veterans that they wanted to keep.
So for next year, they have 43 signed to the 53-man roster. So they need to pick up 10 players. They're negative 14 mil. So actually, we'll call it negative. We'll call it they have 6 mil, assuming the NFL gives 20 million in cap, right? So they're going to have 6 mil, and they need 10 players, 7 which come from the draft. So okay, they're going to be a little bit negative, right? Because once they get 7 from the draft, they still got to sign 3 more. They're going to be negative about what? We'll call it 5 to 10 million, maybe. Okay, easy. They're going to restructure Chase Young and save $10.8 million theoretically. They could Alvin Kamara, they could restructure him and save $8.1 million. They could restructure Taysom, save 4.3. And we know how this money falls off the cap when they do it. They got multiple guys. Here we go. Justin Reed, they could restructure and save 6.3. They could do 6.2 on Juwan Johnson. They're still doing it effectively. They are going to be fine next year. That's what's crazy. And they're going to be able to wait out these contracts and still be a competitive football team that's not a dumpster fire, right? That look, even though the record may not be great, they're a competitive team, so they're not hearing the bitching and moaning and complaining from the fans like, oh my God, we're getting blown out 42-3 every week. Like, man, we lost another one 21-18. Man, we lost another one 27 to 20 or whatever. They're in game, so they're not getting that fan negativity. They still got a positive vibe in NOLA. I mean, that's not a bad thing.
They should be embracing the dumpster fire at this point. They should be pouring gasoline in that dumpster right now.
I mean, and then you've got what Joe is saying they should do, and that's the other way you could do it. And you're going to like, okay, look, embrace the suck for at least 2 years, right? And then you're going to be good for another decade, ish. They might, though, Joe, be proving that theory a little bit wrong. Like, we don't have to embrace the suck for 2 years. We just have to be mediocre competitive. And then we can do – all of a sudden we got $100 million to spend and draft capital. So we'll see if it works out for them. I mean, Joe's way is more tried and true, right?
Well, the thing is, though, with those guys is that they have so many aging vets on big contracts, though, that, like, by restructuring those guys, you're ensuring that they're going to stay around for another year or another 2 years. So you're not –
Not in a restructure. A restructure doesn't extend them. It just shifts the money around.
Yeah, but it shifts a higher cap hit to the following year or 2 years out, and it just makes them.
When the Bears did Jalen Johnson's $8 million, nothing went forward on the cap. It just poof. No longer affects the cap on any of the years of his contract. So it depends on how you do the restructure. That's what I'm saying. These guys are smart. They know they can restructure this guy for $1 million here, $2 million there, $6 million there, and poof, 90% of it evaporates from the cap, but yet they still cut a check. That's the thing. That's why where Mike the Bear fan gets, and he's been, look, I'm going to give Mike some massive credit. He's been on this for a couple years, where he's been like, what the hell? $1 spent is not $1 against the cap, and he's right. It's not. So they can still kick it down, and they're not going to extend it out. And their way, if you think about, because of what they did, they're avoiding a year or two of massive dead cap. because you're going to let these guys retire out as Saints, right? Like Kamara's just going to retire as Saint. When his
Yeah, but
contract's
when?
up, he probably retires.
He's 31 already. Like, at what point,
Well,
do you? I'd be showing him the retirement home already. Like,
Kamara's 30, 28's his last year. Actually, 28's a void year. 27's a void year. So next year could be his last year, and he retires.
yeah. Oh no.
You know, Taysom Hill, his contract has actually next year's a void year. He's 35. Can you believe Taysom Hill's 35? Holy crap! Only 8 seasons. He came in late. He's next year's a void year.
Reminds me of Chris Winkie.
Yeah.
That's a
But
name
he's
I
still
haven't heard in a while.
But he's still
So-
playing like he's in his 20s, though.
Yeah, it's a void year. They could say goodbye to him, cut him, and maybe re-sign for less than 13 mil. So I mean, but they can let Taysom Hill retire as a Saint, right? Who, by the way, the Packers signed as an undrafted free agent in 2017. But they can let him retire as a Saint, and don't tell me Saints fans won't love that, especially in a day and age when players don't stay with teams long term and retire like that. So the Saints are going to be interesting. And it'll be interesting to see what happens with them during the trade deadline, because you could trade some of these guys off as rentals and free up some cap space. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Going to be interesting. And Joe, I agree with you, like what the Saints should do. But it's interesting to see how this experiment they're doing with it is going to work for them.
Yep.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
Somebody get Drew Rosenhaus on the line.
Yeah. Yeah, the 4 of us on here could use him right now. We're going to call Bill the Packer fan up, say, here's our agent.
Maybe we give us a raise on here.
Yeah. You might get a penny now versus nothing.
No, penny earned is not a penny. I don't get an extension, though. Doesn't go against the cap.
Yeah, no, that A-Dub, look at the North is going to be good for a while, because all 4 teams are working the cap well. They have good, solid cores are under contract for a good couple years. Unless some team has some absolute massive collapse of personnel, I think all 4 teams in North this is going to be a good division. And I think all 4 teams really are kind of modeling the way that caps can be done. And they're all doing it a little bit differently. A little bit differently each. No one's doing it the real traditional way. Not even Green Bay's not. Chicago's not. Detroit isn't. They've all left themselves room and spaces when they need to, or they can leave as be. So it's going to be interesting. Goff, though, yeah, they might not. You know what? They may restructure, and this goes back up to Mitch. I would not be surprised if they do a restructure on Goff for next year. That's not a full restructure. They don't take all of it. They only take some of it. We saw that this year with Poles when he did JJ's. He could have taken 10. He only took 8. There was a reason for that we don't understand. These guys get. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do some restructures that aren't as big as we think. So NFC North is going to be interesting, and they're going to be we might see some moves this week. The Bears have already kicked it off, even though it was a free agent signing with CJ. But, by the way, Woody, he didn't mean it, but I went off on him in a fun way. He's like, maybe the Bears think one of their safeties is hurt, or that they're having more injury concerns. That's why I did it, and that's why I gave him an FU. So don't say that. My safeties are fine. I think Gardner Johnson signing with the Bears. Someone's going to get moved to corner in that safety room. We got 5 safeties on the roster now. Someone's going to be a corner this week. Goff could play for a while. He's young for a quarterback, isn't he? I mean,
Nope. Steve, shut up with the Notre Dame shit, please. No, I'd rather sign Larry Sellers from South Carolina. Oh,
Let's see.
fuck, dude.
I mean, golf.
And you know
isn't
what?
that
With your Steve, with your comment before my 2 fingers, I can give you one more if you want.
dude, golf is 31. He's got about anywhere from 7 to 10 years left, probably at least, if he keeps playing well. His quarterbacks are going to damn near 40 now, anyways. So they got time on golf. Yeah, CJ's a 1 year. Yeah. For the
And
rest
it
of this year.
massively helps with Goff's play style too. He's not one of these super athletic guys that's doing all this crazy shit. His strength is his football intelligence, and that shit don't go away. So I wouldn't be surprised if he plays for a bit.
Yeah, and it's funny that you mentioned that because like you saw like Michael Vick's a great example, a very athletic quarterback at first. Then he took his government paid vacation. And when he came back from that, he realized he couldn't be that kind of quarterback. And then he became like a pocket guy, a football smart. And I actually almost will say that he was a better quarterback with Philly than he was with Atlanta in that regard. But like some of these guys, they figure as you watch as they progress, some of them figure it out and they become more like Goff, if you will, right? Where they do less of the super athletic stuff and more just straight up quarterback play. And some guys, they live and die on the athletic stuff and their careers end early.
You guys agree with that? Golf is coming to his prime now?
I mean, in a way, yeah, I do actually.
I was going to say with Detroit, it seems like he hit that stride since he's been there. But I don't know how much longer it'll be his prime. Like I still think he'll play good.
Yeah.
I don't know a quarterback's prime at 31. He could, I mean, maybe for right now, and he might have another year that maybe gets a down year or two, but at 35, he could go off and win an MVP. Aaron Rodgers. I mean, with quarterbacks, it's so much. The prime years for a quarterback, I don't know if there is such a thing.
No, because there's different kinds of quarterbacks. Like, for example, Jared Goff and Lamar Jackson. Like, Lamar Jackson, the way he plays ball, when would you say his prime is? It's not going to be at 32. I can tell you that. Like,
he might have already passed.
But Goff is a much more mental type of quarterback where it's like, when does his mind reach the peak? Like, you know what I mean? Look at Tom Brady. Tom Brady was never an athletic running style quarterback, but like his prime lasted so long because he hit that mental peak and he was able to maintain that mental peak for years.
And like with Lamar might be past his prime as an athletic quarterback, but don't get me wrong, he could become a mental quarterback if he possesses that capability. Yet to be seen. And he could win an MVP 4 years from now as a different style of quarterback than when he won it the last. I mean, that's the weird thing about quarterbacks. Goff easily having 5 to 7 more years. I would agree with that. 31, he could definitely play until he's 38 or 39 in this league. We're seeing quarterbacks go into their 40s now and be effective. So, I mean, obviously, he's got room. Like, Jordan Love's not even close to his prime at 27. No, I mean, Love's not going to, what is the prime? Is he in his prime now? No. Will he be better as a quarterback as he gets older? Probably. I think you can say that for almost all these quarterbacks if they stick around long enough. The problem for these quarterbacks is this. Can you get past your rookie contract? If you get past your rookie contract in this league, as a starter, you're a starter for at least a decade, it seems. For the most part, I mean, and then you'll get guys like Russ who will fall off all of a sudden, but they're good for usually about 10 years. If they make it past that rookie contract, they're good for another 5 to 8 years, as a rule almost. So Jordan Love gets through the next 2 years as a starter. Green Bay is like, we got a quarterback for another 5, probably another 5 years after that, easy.
Yep, Stanton.
So, like for the Bears, if Caleb makes it through his rookie contract, we're not drafting a quarterback to be a starter in Chicago for another 10, 15 years. Because if he gets past that and they can keep him in Chicago, dude, he's young enough. He could be, these guys are sticking longer now when they make it past her. McCarthy, that's the guy you need to worry about. Let's say that draft class, he might be right now. He looks like the one that's not going to make it past his rookie deal. Penix will probably make it past his. Bo Nix will make it past his. Caleb's going to probably make it past his. Jaden Daniels, if he can stay healthy, is going to make it past his. Right? If they keep playing on the trajectories they are overall, looks like all these guys are now. Look, there's still a couple years up for these guys. But if those 4 guys make it past their first round, their 5th-year options with the teams they're on now, they're probably going to stick for another 5 to 10 years. I mean, that's kind of like
I just saw a thing that said that Cousins is going to start over Penix. Like that, I think they're making a quarterback switch.
Yeah, I think part of it that's more of a health issue than anything. They don't want to risk doing long-term damage to Penix.
Yeah.
And that's smart. Where they're sitting at right now, that's probably pretty smart for Atlanta. So kudos to Atlanta, right? Yeah, and then you get the Daniel Jones aspects, right? Let me look how old Daniel Jones is. He's not that old. And then you get that aspect of it. You get the guy who gets washed out with his first team, goes somewhere else, and now he may revitalize a career that lasts a long while. Daniel Jones' contract is super cheap this year too. My God, where is he on the what?
Was
How
he
big was his
26?
contract? Yeah, Jones isn't that. There's Daniel Jones. He is 28.
28 already. Huh.
So 6th season. If his contract was a 1-year deal. So his cap number was 14.4 mil. You can probably double that for next year, based off this year.
Oh, I think he's going to get more than that.
Yeah. So I mean, Jones could be the guy now in Indy for the next decade if this isn't a 1-year flash in the pan.
But that's the thing is that now the Colts, since he's on a 1-year deal, they're going to have to make that decision based off this year. Like he's going to want real money, and he's like, if they won't give it to him, there's somebody that will. I guarantee it, based off this year.
And look,
He did get real money when he was with the Giants.
They have 39 signed for next year, and they have currently $57 million in cap. So they got the room. They're not going to be struggling.
He's gonna get somewhere in that neighborhood of like 40, anywhere between 43 and 53 million dollars a year.
Got 45 million a year.
Well, here's the other thing. The other thing he's got going for him is Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold got the big contract right after the 1 year in Minnesota, and he's worked with a new team nonetheless, and a new system and everything. So that bodes well for Danny Dimes, Indiana Jones, to get a good contract. That bodes well for his future contractually. So yeah, interesting news today. We'll see if there's some more moves start happening now as we start to get into this window.
I hope so, Steve. I really hope so.
Yeah, one would hope.
I'm sick of Curtis.
Yeah, big extension for the Lions today. They're set up for success for the long term, it looks. And we got some other interesting things to watch. See some other teams make some moves. There's some interesting names being thrown out trade, so be careful of the clickbait, but keep your ears to the ground because something's going to happen. We'll see. So thank you, everyone, for joining us. We'll be back here tomorrow. Don't forget today at 2 p.m. Central, the MMA show, MMA Maniacs, and then Woody and I will be on for House Hall tonight. And then we got JB's Roundtable tonight. And JB will be up next in about 45 seconds, where I guarantee you we're going to be talking a lot of Aiden Hutchinson. Thanks, everyone. See you tomorrow.